Welcome to Moon Passio.
The college locker room was empty, smelling of sweat and floor cleaner. Rian stood in front of the mirror, his hands shaking. He held a small, black patch, a high-grade industrial scent blocker. "Endure it, Rian," he whispered to himself. He slapped the patch onto the sensitive gland on his neck. Hiss! A sharp burn seared through his skin. Rian gritted his teeth, his eyes watering. It felt like acid, but it was necessary. "Omega scent, gone," he muttered, checking his reflection. He looked like a boring, average beater. He wore a loose black hoodie to hide his slim frame and combat boots. "I need money for my sister's surgery," he reminded himself. "I just need this job to last, even if the clients are monsters." "You are hired," the dean said, looking at Ryan's impressive combat file. "But I must warn you, Rian, the Singhania twins, they are difficult." Rian stood at attention. "I can handle difficult, sir. I just need the advance payment." The dean sighed. "They have fired 10 bodyguards in 1 month. They don't want protection, but their father insists because of the threats." Rian nodded. "I am not going there to be their friend. I am there to do a job." "Good luck," the dean said, handing him a file. "They are in the parking lot. Don't let them intimidate you." Rian smirked internally. "Intimidate me? I grew up on the streets. These rich kids are nothing." The college parking lot looked more like a luxury car showroom. Suddenly, a roar of an engine silenced the crowd. A matte black Lamborghini drifted around the corner and screeched to a halt in the VIP spot. Students gathered around like moths to a flame. The doors opened. Out stepped Kairav and Kabir Singhania. They were identical, tall, broad-shouldered, with sharp jawlines and eyes that looked bored with the world. They wore leather jackets that cost more than Ryan's entire life savings. The smell of sandalwood and ice, Kairav, and dark rum and smoke, Kabir, filled the air. Pure, arrogant alpha pheromones. "Move," Kabir snapped at a student blocking his way. The student scrambled back in fear. "Another boring day," Kairav muttered, adjusting his sunglasses. Rian stepped forward, blocking their path to the college entrance. The twins stopped. They looked down at Rian, who was 5 inches shorter. "Excuse me," Kairav raised an eyebrow. "Are you lost, freshie? Move." Rian didn't flinch. He kept his face blank. "I am Rian, your new personal security detail." "Silent." Kabir burst out laughing. It wasn't a nice laugh. "Security," Kabir looked Rian up and down. You look like a strong wind could blow you away." Kairav sniffed the air. "And you smell like nothing, a beater." Kairav stepped closer, looming over Rian. "My father hired a beater to protect us. Is this a joke?" Rian looked Kairav dead in the eye. "The only joke here is your parking skill," Rian said calmly. "You are over the line." The crowd gasped. Did he just insult Kairav Singhania? Kabir's smile vanished. His eyes darkened. "What did you say?" "I said," Rian continued, voice steady, "I am here to ensure you don't get killed. I don't care if you like me. I get paid either way." Kairav chuckled darkly. He leaned down, his face inches from Rian. "Listen carefully, beater," Kairav whispered. "We don't need a babysitter, especially not a weak, scentless nobody like you." "Go home," Kabir added, bumping Ryan's shoulder hard as he walked past, "before we break you." Rian didn't move. He didn't stumble. "I don't quit," Rian called out to their backs. The twins stopped. They turned around slowly. "Oh," Kairav smirked, "you don't quit." Kabir cracked his knuckles. "Interesting." They walked back towards Rian, circling him like predators circling prey. "Fine," Kairav said. "You want to be our guard, then you follow our rules." "Rule number 1," Kabir said, "you carry our bags." "Rule number 2," Kairav added, "you stand outside our class in the sun. No water." "Rule number 3," Kabir grinned, "if you last 1 week, we might actually learn your name. Until then, you are just beater." Rian adjusted his hoodie. His neck burned from the patch, but his expression was cold. "Done," Rian said. The twins looked surprised for a split second. They expected him to run. "He has guts," Kabir whispered to Kairav. "Or he is stupid," Kairav replied. "Let's see how long he lasts." They walked away, the crowd parting for them. Rian watched them go. He let out a breath he was holding. "Spoiled brats," Rian muttered. "Just 1 week. I just have to endure 1 week." But as he walked behind them, he didn't notice Kairav looking back at him with a suspicious, calculating gaze. "Why does this beater move like a fighter?" Kairav thought, "and why do I feel like he is hiding something?" The college corridor was long and crowded. Rian walked behind the twins, his back bent under the weight. He was carrying 2 heavy gym bags, 3 textbooks, and their cricket kits. Kabir stopped abruptly to tie his shoelace. Rian almost crashed into him but stopped just in time. "Watch it, beater," Kabir snapped, kicking Ryan's shin. "And her hikaya, are you blind?" "Sorry, sir," Rian muttered through gritted teeth. "Walk faster," Kairav commanded without looking back. "We don't like waiting for our luggage." Rian adjusted the heavy straps that were digging into his shoulders. The scent patch on his neck was burning like fire, but he didn't make a sound. Bus paise mil Jane, just get the money, Rian chanted in his head. Don't punch them, don't kill them. It was pouring rain outside, a thunderstorm. The twins sat inside the warm, dry college cafeteria, sipping hot coffee near the window. Outside, standing in the drenching rain, was Rian. He was shivering, his black hoodie soaked through, sticking to his skin. Should we let him in? A student asked Kairav. He looks sick. Kairav glanced out the window, looking at Ryan's shivering form with cold indifference. No, Kairav said, taking a sip. Guards belong outside. If he is cold, he can quit. Rian hugged himself to stop the shivering, his teeth chattered. Main na hai tutunga, I won't break, Rian whispered to the rain. Do your worst. Rian was finally on his lunch break. He bought a cheap sandwich with his last few coins. He was starving. He sat at a corner table, ready to take the first bite. Slam! A hand slammed onto the table, flipping the tray. The sandwich fell onto the dirty floor. Rian froze. He looked up. Kabir was standing there, smirking. Oops, Kabir laughed. My hand slipped, just like your status. The whole cafeteria laughed. Rian looked at the ruined food. His stomach growled painfully. He slowly stood up, his fists clenched at his sides. You have a problem with my existence, Kabir, Rian said, his voice deadly calm. But wasting food, that shows your class, not mine. Kabir stopped laughing. He stepped closer, grabbing Ryan's collar. Zuban mat chala, don't run your mouth, Kabir growled. Pick it up and eat it if you are so hungry. Ryan stared into Kabir's eyes with a fire that surprised the alpha. He didn't pick it up. He just walked away, hungry and furious. Put on the pads, Kairav ordered. They were in the private boxing ring. Rian wasn't allowed to fight back. He was just the target. Rian held up the boxing pads. Swag. Kairav punched hard, harder than necessary. Swag. Every hit sent a shockwave through Ryan's arms. Is that all you have? Kairav taunted, sweat dripping down his face. Fight back, come on Beta, show me some anger. Rian grunted as a heavy blow hit his ribs. He stumbled but didn't fall. He wanted to drop the pads. He wanted to use his Omega speed and knock Kairav out. He knew exactly where to hit to disable him. But he couldn't. If he fought like a pro, they would suspect he wasn't a Beta. I am just a guard, sir, Rian panted, spitting out a little blood from a cut lip. Boring, Kairav spat, throwing his gloves down. You are pathetic. It had been 30 days. Rian was exhausted. He had dark circles under his eyes. His body ached from the training sessions and carrying heavy loads. The scent patch had left a raw red rash on his neck that he hid with his collar. But he was still there. In the twins' penthouse, where Rian had to stand guard at the door, Kairav and Kabir were drinking. Why doesn't he leave? Kabir shouted, throwing a glass against the wall. We treated him like dirt. We humiliated him. Why is he still here? He needs the money, Kairav said, staring at the CCTV monitor showing Rian standing stoically outside the door. I hate him, Kabir hissed. I hate his blank face. I hate that he doesn't smell like fear. I hate that he doesn't bow down. Then we make it harder, Kairav said, his eyes cold. Next month, we stop playing games, we break him for real. Rian stood outside the door, listening to the glass shatter inside. He touched the rash on his neck. It was bleeding slightly. 1 month down, Rian whispered. He pulled out his phone and looked at a picture of his little sister in the hospital bed. Nafrak kart hain mudjas, they hate me, Rian murmured. Good, because I hate them too. He looked at the camera in the corner of the hallway, knowing the twins were watching. He didn't look down, he looked straight into the lens. And for the first time, he smirked. Inside the room, Kairav saw that smirk on the screen. Did you see that? Kairav stood up, fascinated and furious. The Beta, he is challenging us. It was a blazing hot afternoon. The twins were sitting inside the luxury SUV with the AC on full blast. Rian was standing outside, guarding the door in the 40-degree heat. Kabir rolled down the window just an inch. Hey Beta, Kabir called out. Stand straighter, you are slouching. Rian straightened up, sweat dripping down his back. His head was spinning, but not just from the heat. He felt a strange cramp in his lower stomach, a hot, slick feeling. No, Rian thought, panic rising. Not now, my cycle isn't due for 2 days. The stress of the last month had messed up his cycle. The heat was hitting early. I need a bathroom break, sir, Rian said, his voice raspy. 5 minutes, Kairav dismissed him without looking. Don't be late. Rian sprinted to the college restroom near the parking lot. He locked himself in a stall, his hands trembling. He tore open his emergency kit. Drop, a single drop of slick hit his underwear. The scent barrier broke for just 10 seconds. The smell of wet earth and night blooming jasmine exploded in the small bathroom. It was sweet, intoxicating, and powerful. Shit, Rian gasped. He dry swallowed 3 heavy suppressant pills instantly and slapped 2 new patches on his neck. Control, he panted, spraying strong beta neutralizer spray all over himself. Hide it, hide it. In the car, the twins suddenly froze. The scent hit the AC vents. Kabir's pupils dilated instantly to black circles. Orion's claws came out, digging into the leather seat. Mate! Their inner alphas roared so loud it hurt their heads. Did you smell that? Kairav gasped, unlocking the door. Omega, Kabir growled, his voice deep and vibrating. Our Omega. They burst out of the car, running towards the restroom building. The scent was fading, but the trail was there. Find them, Kabir shouted, looking around wildly. Who was it? Who was here? Rian heard them running. He took a deep breath, flushed the toilet, and composed his face into a stone-cold mask. He opened the door. The twins were standing there, chests heaving, eyes glowing gold, looking like frantic animals. They looked at Rian, then they looked behind him. Where is she? Kairav demanded, grabbing Ryan's shoulders. Or he, the Omega, where did they go? Rian blinked, acting confused. Omega, sir, there is no one here. Don't lie, Kabir roared, sniffing the air, but now it only smelled of cheap air freshener and Ryan's bitter scent. I swear, Rian said, his voice flat and boring, I have been here for 5 minutes. No one came in, no one went out. The twins pushed past him, kicking the stall doors open. Empty, empty, empty. Gone, Kairav whispered, looking devastated. We missed them by seconds. The drive back to the penthouse was terrifying. The twins were silent, but their aura was suffocatingly dark. I will find them, Kabir muttered, staring out the window. That scent, it was perfect. Jasmine, rain. Kairav looked at Rian in the rearview mirror. Beta, did you really see no one? A student, a teacher, anyone running away? Rian met his gaze in the mirror. No one, sir, maybe you imagined it, due to the heat. Kairav glared. We don't imagine things. How long will you run, baby? Kabir whispered to the empty air, his obsession taking root. I will tear this city apart to find you. Back at the penthouse, Rian was finally dismissed for the night. He locked himself in the servants' quarters, a small room they gave him. He slid down the door, clutching his chest. His heart was hammering, thud, thud, thud. Mates, Rian whispered, horrified. Of all the alphas in the world, my fated mates are the Singhania monsters. His inner Omega was jumping with joy, purring, wanting to run back to them. Alpha, Alpha found us. Chup car, Rian scolded his own wolf. They will destroy us, they hate me. He looked at his reflection, he had to be more careful. They are hunting for a ghost, Rian thought, and I have to make sure they never realize the ghost is standing right in front of them. He lay on the bed, shivering as the heat fever started to rise again, knowing his own alphas were just one wall away, dreaming of a lover who didn't exist. It was 2:00 a.m., the VIP exit of the club. Kairav and Kabir walked out, surrounded by guards. Rian stood at the back. Suddenly masked bikers surrounded them. Gunshots. Get in the car, Kabir shouted, shoving Kairav inside. Rian pulled out his gun, firing back with precision. Go, I will hold them. The twins' driver hesitated, so Rian is still outside. Drive, Kairav ordered coldly. If he is a good guard, he will survive. If not, we hire a new one. The car screeched away, leaving Rian alone in the alley, surrounded by 5 armed assassins. Rian watched the taillights fade. A bitter smile touched his lips. Expected. Rian fought like a demon. He took down 3 men. Bang! A bullet tore through Ryan's left shoulder. Ah, Rian grunted, falling to his knees. The pain was blinding. Inside the twins' car, simultaneously. Og, Kairav and Kabir both gasped, clutching their left shoulders instantly. What the hell, Kabir hissed, rubbing his shoulder. It felt like someone stabbed me. Kairav winced, checking his arm. No wound. Phantom pain. Why did we both feel it at the same time? They looked back at the empty road. A strange unease settled in their chests. Next morning, Rian walked into the penthouse. He was pale. Under his black suit, his shoulder was heavily bandaged, stitched up by a back alley doctor. He had taken heavy painkillers. You're alive, Kabir said, eating an apple. He didn't sound happy or sad, just indifferent. I am the Secretary of Security now, Rian said, his voice flat. The threat level has increased. I have doubled the perimeter. You look terrible, Kairav noted, staring at Ryan's pale face. You smell like hospital disinfectant. Just a scratch, sir, Rian lied. Inside, his inner Omega was crying, wanting his alphas to lick the wound, to comfort him. Chupkar, shut up, Rian told his wolf. They left us to die. 2 days later, the stress weakened Ryan's blockers again. As they walked through the college corridor, a wave of jasmine scent drifted from Rian. The twins stopped dead. They grabbed Rian, slamming him against the lockers. Did you see them? Kabir growled, sniffing the air wildly. The Omega, they were just here. Rian held his breath, the pain in his shoulder throbbing. No one, sir. Orion leaned in, his eyes dark with obsession. You are useless, whoever this Omega is. They are playing hide and seek. But once we catch them, Kabir whispered, his hand banging the locker next to Ryan's head, we will lock them in our room. We will never let them see the sunlight again. Rian shivered. It wasn't a promise of love, it was a promise of captivity. Evening. The convoy was leaving the college. Rian was in the second car, the decoy car. The twins were in the first. Wait, Rian spoke into the comms. Something is wrong, the route. Boom. A massive explosion tore through the street. The car behind Rian's, the one carrying 2 other guards, went up in a ball of fire. Debris rained down on the twins' limousine. The twins ducked. What was that? Rian jumped out of his car, gun drawn, ignoring his bleeding shoulder. Ambush, Rian screamed. Protect the VIPs. He stood in front of the twins' car as bullets started flying. Kairav watched through the shattered window. He saw Rian standing firm, bleeding, protecting them despite everything. This is not a random attack, Kairav realized looking at the fire. This is a war, and that beater is the only shield we have. The highway was a burning inferno. Smoke blackened the sky. Rian stood in front of the twins' shattered limousine, firing his dual pistols with terrifying accuracy. Bang bang thud. Every assassin who tried to get close to Kairav or Kabir dropped dead instantly. Stay down, Rian screamed at the twins, reloading in one smooth motion. The twins were fighting too, but they were shocked. They had never seen a beta fight like this. Rian moved faster than an alpha, lethal and graceful. But then 3 black SUVs drifted around the corner. Reinforcements. Machine guns opened fire, rat-a-tat-tat. Rocket launcher, Rian yelled. He saw an enemy aiming at the twins. Rian didn't think, he dove. Bang! The first bullet hit Rian in the chest, cracking a rib. He didn't fall, he shot the enemy's sniper. Bang! The second bullet tore through his stomach. AHHH, Rian grunted, blood spraying onto the asphalt. He stumbled back, leaning against the burning car hood. His black suit turned darker with blood. Rian, Kabir shouted, eyes widening in horror. Get back. Rian ignored the pain. He pressed his earpiece with a bloody hand. Code red, I repeat, code red, Rian gasped into the mic. Location sector 4, send the chopper, now. He looked at the sky, his vision blurring. Internal monologue, bus, Aj Akri Din Hai, this is the last day. The advance payment is in the account. My sister will get her surgery. Main Yar Sakta Hoon, I can go now. He smiled weakly amidst the carnage. He had done his job, he had paid his debt. The adrenaline faded. Rian's body went into shock. The heavy scent patches on his neck, soaked in sweat and blood, peeled off and fell to the ground. The scent exploded. In the middle of the gunfire, the smell of wet earth, night jasmine, and sweet omega blood hit the twins like a physical blow. Kairav and Kabir froze, time stopped. They looked at Rian, the boy bleeding out on the road. No, Kairav whispered, his heart shattering. That scent. Kabir's hands shook as he reached out. It's him, the beta, is the Omega. They realized the cruelty, the torture, the hate. They had done it all to their own soulmate. The sound of helicopter blades chopped the air above. Rescue was here. But for Rian, it was fading to black. He looked at the twins one last time. He didn't see alphas, he just saw 2 terrified boys. Safe, Rian mouthed. His knees gave out, he collapsed forward. No! The twins screamed in unison, a sound of pure agony. They caught him before he hit the ground. Kabir pressed his hands over Rian's stomach wound, trying to stop the blood. Open your eyes, Rian, look at me. Kairav grabbed Rian's face, tears mixing with the blood. Mate, please, don't go, we didn't know. Rian's head lolled back, he was limp, unconscious, or worse. The helicopter landed, medics rushed out. The twins were growling at anyone who came close, clutching Rian's body possessively. Save him, Rian roared at the medics, his voice breaking. If he dies, everyone dies. They felt a hollow, ripping pain in their chests, the bond snapping as Rian's life force faded. As Rian was loaded onto the stretcher, the twins stood in the middle of the destruction. Bodies lay everywhere, the fire burned, but they felt cold. They had found their obsession, they had found their love. And they had likely killed him. What have we done? Kabir whispered, falling to his knees on the bloody road. The war was won, but their world had just collapsed. The private ICU inside the mansion was silent, except for the heart monitor. Beep, beep. Kairav and Kabir stood by the glass, looking at Rian, who lay pale and still, hooked up to tubes. The doctor walked out, looking grave. Will he live? Kabir asked, his voice cracking. He survived the bullets, the doctor said, taking off his glasses, but his body is fighting a different war. He has been taking high-grade illegal suppressants for months. It acted like slow poison, Zaha. Kairav gripped the railing. Poison. Yes, his inner omega is suffocating. Regular medicine isn't working because his system is rejecting it. The suppressed heat is boiling his blood. What is the cure? Kabir demanded. The doctor said, he needs high exposure to his fated alpha's scent, and eventually, a mating mark. But if you mark him now in this weak state, the shock might kill him. 3 days later. Rian opened his eyes, the pain was dull but present. He expected a hospital ceiling. Instead, he saw a black chandelier and velvet curtains. He tried to sit up, his ankle felt heavy. He looked down, a thin, gold chain was attached to his ankle, connected to the bedpost. "What the?" Rian whispered. "Am I in prison?" The door opened, Kairav and Kabir walked in. They looked exhausted but relieved. "You're awake," Kairav breathed out, rushing to the bedside. "Where am I?" Rian asked, pulling his leg back. "Why am I chained?" "For your safety," Kabir said darkly, sitting on the edge of the bed. "You tried to die, we won't let you try to leave." "Let me go," Rian shouted, though his voice was weak. "I completed the job, my sister needs me." "Your sister is fine," Kairav interrupted softly. "We moved her to the best hospital in Zurich. She is being treated by world specialists." Rian froze. You touched my family." "We protected your family," Kabir corrected, his eyes flashing gold. "Just like we will protect you." "You hate me," Rian argued, tears springing to his eyes. "I am the weak beater you bullied." "We were blind," Kairav whispered, leaning close to Ryan's face. "But now we see, you are not a beater, you are ours, and you are never walking out of this door again." Rian saw the madness in their eyes. It wasn't just love, it was a terrifying fear of loss. They had turned into jailers to keep him alive. For 30 days Rian was kept in the room. He was fed, bathed, and cared for, but never unchained. He healed, the bullet wounds became scars, but the real bomb was ticking inside him. The night of the full moon. Rian woke up sweating, his bones hurt, his skin felt like it was on fire. The suppressed heat, it was finally breaking through the medicine barrier. Outside the door, he heard a low, animalistic growl. Thud as heavy bodies hit the door. The twins were in rut. Usually they would isolate themselves, but their mate was in the next room, smelling like distress and sweetness. "Rian," Kabir's voice came through the door rough and desperate. "Open it." "No," Rian whimpered, curling into a ball. "Go away." But his body betrayed him. The scent of the alphas in rut, burnt sugar, rum and heavy musk, seeped under the door. It hit Ryan's system like a hammer. "Ah!" Rian screamed, clutching his stomach. The pain was blinding. His body was screaming for the alphas to fix the chemical imbalance. "It hurts," Rian cried out. "Alpha, please, it hurts." The sound of his Omega distress call snapped the last thread of control for the twins. Crack! The door handle was ripped off. Kairav and Kabir stormed in. Their eyes were no longer human. They were pure glowing gold. They were sweating, shaking with the need to claim. Rian looked up from the bed, tears streaming down his face. He was slick with sweat, trembling violently. "Help me," Rian whispered, his instincts taking over. "Alpha, make it stop." That word, alpha, was the permission they needed. Kabir growled, rushing to the bed, and ripping the gold chain off Ryan's ankle like it was paper. No more chains. Kairav climbed over Rian, inhaling the scent of his heat. "We are here, we have you." "You called us," Kabir murmured, burying his face in Ryan's neck. "Now you have to take us." The pain of the heat began to turn into a desperate, burning need as the alphas surrounded him, ready to heal him in the only way nature intended. The suppressants Rian had taken for months were now acting like fuel to a fire. His heat wasn't just hot, it was violent. Rian writhed on the bed, clawing at the sheets. His skin was burning, his chest heaving painfully. The biological need was tearing him apart. "Alpha," Rian choked out, his eyes glassy and desperate. He looked at Kairav and Kabir, who were standing like statues, vibrating with control. "Please," Rian whimpered, arching his back. "Upka Omega, Dard main high, your Omega is in pain." That sentence shattered the last lock. "Raw!" A dual animalistic growl shook the room. The twins' eyes turned pitch black, the beast took over. They descended on him like starving wolves. Rian was pulled into the middle. Kairav crashed his lips onto Ryan's mouth, devouring him in a rough, bruising French kiss, stealing his breath. At the same time, Kabir buried his face in Ryan's chest. Ryan's chest was swollen and hypersensitive from the heat. "Ah!" Rian muffled a scream into Kairav's mouth as Kabir latched onto his sensitive nipple, sucking and biting down hard. It was a mix of pleasure and pain. Kabir's tongue teased the hardened nub while Kairav ravaged his mouth. Then they switched. Kairav moved down to the other side of his chest, biting the skin, marking him. Kabir moved up, capturing Ryan's lips, biting his lower lip until it bled. Hands were everywhere, squeezing his waist, kneading his thighs, exploring every inch of his slick, trembling body. "Too beautiful," Kabir growled against his neck. "Too empty," Kairav snarled. They grabbed Rian and lifted him up. They sat on the edge of the bed and pulled Rian onto their laps, facing them. Rian gasped, he could feel it. Beneath his thighs, he felt two massive, rock-hard lengths throbbing against his skin. They were scorching hot. "You feel that, Omega?" Kairav whispered, his voice dark and dirty. "That's what you have to take." "Both of us," Kabir added, gripping Ryan's hips. "Do you think you can handle two monsters?" Rian was delirious with pleasure. "Yes, fill me, Alpha." Now, one held his waist, the other gripped his hips. They didn't wait. Kairav entered first, stretching him wide. Rian gasped. But before he could adjust, Kabir pressed in right beside him. Ay-ay-chay-chay-chay. Rian threw his head back, a high-pitched scream tearing from his throat. It was impossible, it was too much. But the heat slick made it possible. They pushed together. Thrust. They buried themselves deep inside him, simultaneously. Rian felt like he was being split open, but the feeling of being completely full was euphoric. Mine, Kairav roared. Ours, Kabir shouted. The room turned into a chaotic mess. They began to thrust in sync, hard, deep, merciless. Rian was bouncing on their laps, his body tossed around like a ragdoll. Every time they thrust upward, they hit his deepest spot. Alpha, Alpha, Rian chanted, his eyes rolling back. He was a mess between them. One brother was sucking on his chest again, leaving dark purple marks. The other was kissing him deeply to stifle his screams. Look at you, Kabir groaned, slapping Rian's thigh, taking both of us. With one final, synchronized, bone-shaking thrust, they knotted inside him. Rian convulsed as a double wave of warmth flooded his womb, sealing the claim. The room was heavy with the scent of sex and sweat. Rian was panting, his head resting on Kairav's shoulder while Kabir held his waist from behind. Suddenly the atmosphere changed. The alphas stopped moving. They stared at Rian's neck. The scent gland where the scent comes from was swollen, pulsing and smelling of pure, distressed omega sweetness. It's time, Kairav growled, his voice vibrating against Rian's chest. We need to seal it, Kabir whispered, tracing the vein on Rian's neck with his thumb. Before the poison returns, we need to burn it out. Rian sensed the danger. His omega instincts screamed submit, but his human side feared the pain. No, Rian whimpered, trying to pull away. It will hurt. Shhh, Kabir soothed, but his grip tightened like iron. He tilted Rian's head to the side, exposing the left side of his neck. Kairav grabbed Rian's jaw, tilting it the other way, exposing the right side. You belong to us, Rian, Kairav said, his eyes glowing neon gold. Not just for tonight, for every life. Mark him, Kabir commanded. They didn't count down. Simultaneously, they lunged. Crunch. Rian's eyes flew open wide, a blood-curdling scream tore from his throat. He felt two sets of sharp canine teeth sinking deep into his sensitive glands, one on the left, one on the right. It wasn't a love bite, it was a claim. They bit down hard, breaking the skin, drawing blood. Rian thrashed, his nails digging into Kairav's back, drawing blood there too. Mine, Kairav roared into his skin, biting deeper. Mine, Kabir growled, locking his jaw. For a moment, there was only blinding pain. But then the alpha venom seeped into Rian's bloodstream. The pain vanished instantly, replaced by a rush of golden euphoria. Snap! The mating bond locked into place. Suddenly, Rian could feel them inside his head. He could feel Kairav's possessiveness and Kabir's obsession, and they could feel his fear turning into love. The twins pulled back slowly, licking the blood from the fresh wounds. Two deep, permanent scars now adorned Rian's neck, marking him as the property of two alphas. Rian went limp, overwhelmed by the new connection. Look at you, Kabir whispered, admiring the bleeding marks. So beautiful. Permanent, Kairav murmured, kissing the wound he just made to soothe it. The marking triggered a new wave of heat. Rian looked up, his eyes now flashing a mix of his omega blue and their alpha gold. Alpha, Rian whispered, the bond forcing him to seek comfort. We are here, they answered. And with the mark sealed, they resumed their rhythm, this time, feeling every single emotion Rian felt, thrusting into him until the bond settled deep in their souls. For 5 days, the door did not open. The alpha rut was relentless. Even when Rian passed out from exhaustion, his body limp and bruised, the twins didn't stop. Their instincts wouldn't let them. They would wake him up with rough kisses, or by thrusting into him again. Day 2, in the bathtub, the water splashing everywhere as they pinned him against the cold tiles. Day 3, on the floor, Rian crying for rest but begging for more at the same time. Day 4, against the balcony window. Every time they pulled out, they replaced it immediately. They kept him full, kept him marked, kept him slick with their scent and seed. They poured their warmth into him over and over, ensuring that every cell in Rian's body knew exactly who he belonged to. On the morning of the 6th day, the storm finally broke. Sunlight hit Rian's face, he blinked open his eyes. The room was destroyed. Kairav and Kabir were sleeping like the dead on either side of him, their heavy arms pinning him down. Rian looked at his body, covered in bite marks, bruises and hickeys. Flashback images of the last 5 days flooded his mind, him begging, him screaming their names. Rian turned bright red, Bisharam, shameless. But then the anger hit. Janwa Hain Dono, they are animals, Rian whispered, his eyes tearing up. They didn't ask, they just took because they think I am their property. He clenched his fist. Main koi kolona nahaihun, I am not a toy, you want to lock me up, watch me vanish. He slowly, painfully wiggled out of their grip. He didn't pack bags, he just took his emergency cash and left. 3 weeks later, Rian was in a small, dusty apartment in another city. His sister, Ria, was sitting on the sofa, looking worried. She had recovered from her surgery, but now Rian looked like a ghost. "Buy, eat something," Ria begged. "I'm not hungry," Rian muttered, standing up. Suddenly the room spun. Black spots danced in his vision, he swayed. "Buy," Ria screamed. Thud. Rian collapsed on the floor, unconscious. His face was pale as a sheet. 1 hour later, Rian woke up in a small clinic. The doctor looked terrified. "Mr. Rian, you need a blood transfusion immediately. Your hemoglobin is dangerously low." "Why?" Rian whispered weakly. "Because," the doctor pointed to the ultrasound screen, "you are not feeding just yourself." Rian looked at the screen. He saw dots. 1, 2, 3. "Twins?" Rian asked, heart pounding. "No," the doctor gulped. "There are 5 sacs, quintuplets." Rian stopped breathing. "Punch, 5. "Yes, and without alpha pheromones and care, your body cannot support them. The Barbies are draining your blood to survive. You are dying, Rian." Rian lay in the hospital bed, shocked. 5 Barbies, Kairav and Kabir's children. He closed his eyes, stubborn tears falling. "I still won't call them. I'd rather die." But Ria heard the doctor. She loved her brother too much to let him die of ego. She stepped out into the hallway. She took Ryan's phone, unlocked it, and found the blocked numbers. She dialed Monster 1. "Rings, ring." "Rian," a voice roared on the other side. It was Kabir. He sounded broken, angry, and desperate. "This is his sister," Ria whispered, trembling. "He is dying, please, save him." "Location," Kabir commanded. The voice was so cold it froze her blood. "Now." 30 minutes later, the clinic doors were kicked open. 2 dark figures stormed in, followed by elite guards. The alphas looked like they hadn't slept in weeks. Their eyes were wild. "Rian." They rushed to his bed. Rian tried to sit up, shocked. "Ria, you called them." "I had to," Ria cried. Kairav grabbed Ryan's face, checking his pale skin. "You ran," Kairav hissed, his voice shaking with fury. "You ran from us when you were carrying our pups." "I didn't know," Rian shouted back weakly, "and I hate you." Kabir looked at the chart. 5. Kabir froze. He looked at Kairav, then at Ryan's flat stomach. 5 Barbies, Kabir whispered, fear replacing the anger. "He is too small, it will kill him." The twins fell to their knees beside the bed. Their anger vanished, replaced by pure terror. "We are taking you home," Kairav said firmly, "to the best doctors." "No," Rian whispered. "Yes," Kabir roared, tears falling from his eyes. "You are dying, Rian. Our children are eating you alive." They buried their faces in his neck, pumping their calming pheromones into him. Rian felt his body relax against his will. "We will punish you later for running," Kairav murmured against his skin, "but right now, we need to save you." Rian looked at the ceiling. He was trapped again. But the doctor walked in with a grim face. "Wait, taking him now is dangerous. If you move him too much or if he gets stressed, he could lose all 5 within the hour." The twins froze. They couldn't move him. They couldn't stay in this small clinic, and Rian was fadding fast. The realization hit. The alphas were powerful enough to destroy the world, but they were helpless against nature. 7 months pregnant. Rian sat on the bed, surrounded by pillows. His belly was huge. Carrying 5 Barbies meant he looked like a ball. His cheeks were chubby, and he was pouting. "Harto," Rian slapped Kairav's hand away. "I don't want papaya, it tastes like sadness." Kairav sighed, holding the bowl. "Baby, it's healthy," the doctor said. "To hell with the doctor," Rian shouted, his eyes filling with hormonal tears. "Look at me, I look like a planet, my feet are swollen, and you two look like supermodels." Kabir walked in, hiding something behind his back. "Who made my Omega cry?" Kabir asked softly. "You did," Rian pointed a chubby finger. "You did this to me." Kabir grinned and revealed a chocolate truffle cake. Ryan's eyes widened. He snatched the cake. "Give me." He ate angrily, cream smudging his nose. "I hate you both. This is good, but I still hate you." The twins kissed his round cheeks. "We know, eat up, angry potato." 5 years later, the park chaos. It was a bright Sunday morning. The private park was full of noise. Rian stood in the middle of the grass, hands on his hips. He looked fitter now, but still had that commanding aura. Running around him were 5 children. Arav and Vivan, the 2 alpha boys, resting in the mud. Myra, the 1 alpha girl, growling at a squirrel on the tree. Rishi, the Omega boy, sitting quietly reading a book. Tara, the Omega girl, clinging to Ryan's leg, holding a doll. The scolding, the commander. Arav, Vivan, Myra, line up, now, Rian shouted. The alpha voice of their Omega mother was scarier than any roar. The three little alphas froze. They slowly walked over, heads hanging low. Rian pointed at Arav. Why did you bite your brother? He stole my ball, Arav grumbled. Rian looked at Myra. And you, why did you growl at that poor kid on the slide? Alpha girl Hoto Dadagiri Karogi. Just because you are an alpha girl, you will bully. He was slow, Mama. Myra crossed her arms, looking exactly like Kairav. No excuses, Rian scolded. Alphas protect, they don't bully. Say sorry to your siblings, now. The three powerful little alphas mumbled, sorry. Rian softened, kissing their foreheads. Good, now go play gently, or no ice cream. Sitting on a nearby bench, Kairav and Kabir watched the scene with sunglasses on. They looked older, more mature, but just as obsessed. Look at him, Kabir chuckled. He controls 3 alphas without even using a command. Correction, Kairav smirked. He controls 5 alphas, including us. They watched Rian pick up the little Omega boy, Rishi, and wipe dirt off his face while laughing at something Tara said. Remember when he was just a beta bodyguard? Kabir asked. Worst bodyguard ever, Kairav laughed. He stole the people he was supposed to protect. Rian looked up and saw the twins staring at him. Oi, Rian shouted across the park. Don't just sit there looking hot, come help me, Myra is climbing the tree again. The twins stood up immediately, buttoning their jackets. Coming, boss, they shouted back. They walked towards their chaotic, loud, beautiful family. Rian smiled as they approached. The hate was gone, the fear was gone. There was only love, 5 heartbeats running around, and 2 monsters who had finally found their home in him. The end,